Was it week 2? Week 2. No more 5 a.m. Wake ups, which is great. What time do you used to wake up in China, Simon?
1 a.m.
Damn.
Bro. Oh, jeez.
Impossible, man.
Oh.
Impossible.
I
That
watch
would
just
actually
stay
make
up,
I get the last quarter of I get the last quarter of the 4 a.m. games, and then I just watch the 8:30 a.m. ones here. So I don't get much football. Nice to watch the Vikings this week, though.
Yeah, that would
I
make
mean,
start
they're
sits
nice.
really hard. Like, you know, those guys that you need, like game time decisions. That would
Yeah.
make that impossible, bro. That sucks, man.
Well, we'll get to that when we do the championship recap this week.
Oh, there was someone that you start. Yeah, sure. But to be honest, Simon, sometimes with you, I'm like, there was no way. You need to read into it better, man. Like sometimes these guys.
I was gonna lose this week regardless, so I'm okay with it. But
Simon, yeah, I hate it. Don't settle, man. Don't settle ever. Come on, dude.
I agree. But before we get in the recap, I thought Simon and I should rehash our so-called beef with one another before people can actually understand what we're saying, because
That's why Simon's here. Nice.
Yeah,
that's why Simon's here.
No,
So
I'm trying
Simon,
to join every week. We don't normally do it this late. I promise. I like the
Simon,
banter.
I'm going to let you go first and explain your point, and I'm going
excited.
to.
So I mean, Jesse, in earnest, we don't disagree a lot. The main point we disagree is basically I say I'm good at what you say, what we're talking about, and you'll say I'm bad at what you're talking about. You're right. Opportunity is king. Okay, number one, I don't want to include draft in this because drafting, I don't think I don't have a leg to stand on. But the point, I didn't respond to it when you messaged it in the group because I was busy over the weekend. But opportunity is key. The point that I'd say things get a little bit more complex is not all opportunities are equal. And we can look at Andy's team this year as a pretty good example of that, playing Devontae Parker, who's had like 90% of snaps and a lot of opportunity, but has turned it into nothing, where Nelson Aguilar has got like 53% stats and a snap count and like 11 targets and 9 receptions and over 100 yards, right? So at this point in time, opportunity for Aguilar is worth more than Parker, who's doing nothing with all the snaps, right? So you can get that to be a little bit more complicated and start to weigh out stuff. And obviously, as the season goes on, we'll be more akin with that. A really good example I know quite well because I got stuffed on it years ago is Larry Fitzgerald and the Cardinals with what's his name, a quarterback in 2018.
Carson Palmer, I think.
I think it was I can't recall, but
Josh
Rosen it might have been. He was getting most of the snaps and most of the targets, but because of his coverage, Christian Kirk was getting like more yardage per play and things to that effect. And so, like the weight for every opportunity in that team, like I was getting absolutely smashed, getting nothing with Larry Fitzgerald sort of thing, while targets were going other places, or targets receptions were going to other places that will end up getting more points than what I was scoring with on Fitzgerald. And so, that's like where things start to get a little bit more complex into your data reading and stuff like that. But then like the context of like, and there were really bad examples for me to use in the discussion because it's obvious everybody knows that Devontae Adams moved. You're right. But if for some reason, say like you got to wake up at 1 a.m. to watch a game or something, and you're not privy to that knowledge, all right, so then you might not realize he's going to eat into Waller's receptions or whatever. Now that's a bad example because it's so easy to find that out. But there are moments like there are a lot of situations like that where if you don't have that contextual knowledge, which is not all of it, but a lot, where it can affect judgment calls because I'm going on data and not all data is represented in the numbers. When I look at profootballreference.com or whatever, that doesn't tell the whole story the whole time.
See, I look at the data a lot, and that's what I base a lot of my decisions on. And that's why some people like think my picks and my decisions are stupid, but I'm purely going off, like you said, there's opportunity based, like how many snaps are they out there, what's like their air yardage, all these different things, their targets, and so that opportunity, in my opinion, like you said, week 2, it's too early. We'll probably go back to the mean. So a lot of the, I guess, what you're saying still doesn't make sense because if you're trusting the data, in the right data, all these things that you believe should, not always, should go back to the mean. And so you should generally be, I don't know, better. But I think sometimes you make, I don't know. I've always questioned a lot of your decisions and thinking, what is he doing?
Yeah, everyone's questioned Simon's decisions over
Yeah. I would say that people are questioning my decisions less often nowadays than they used to be, right? So I do think there's a positive trend, and that's because I'm leaning more into the data than I used to.
To be honest, you got relegated, so I haven't seen the trend. But maybe this year,
but not even
in this league,
even last year, even 2021, I got questioned a lot less compared to 2020.
Well, we stopped questioning because we just accepted you. You are.
We just started ignoring the moves.
Yeah, like I love roasting like bad decisions because I think I know. But no, if I don't know, if you're chasing the data, I think you should be fine because I don't know. But some
there's been a lot of like, I mean, I don't want to say luck because you can play yourself out of it. Like you can get a key player injured and play out of it. But for example, last year I spent $70 on Henry, got injured. This year I spent $70 on Kamara, got injured.
Okay, the injuries don't count.
Yeah.
So, Jesse, could you quickly go through Simon's team this year? I'd love to see what his team is.
All right, you can go this team.
Because I'm gonna see who the players you drafted.
So I'm gonna tell you I'm 0-2.
Here we go.
Yeah, but you can be 0-2 and people can understand your decisions.
I'm not stressed out because I'm scoring pretty well.
Manager.
Considering that that half my budget went to Lamb and Kamara, and they've done nothing for me, I'm happy with my score for the now. Like I feel like I got a higher potential than what I'm scoring at the moment.
Oh, you have Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Was that Dalton Schultz?
Yeah, he went out, but he went out in the fourth quarter, so it doesn't really explain for his crap score this week. That's probably just Cooper Rush.
Yeah, you're right. On paper, your team is fine. Like
when Kamara and CD show up, like I'm pretty confident I quite like this team a lot. I think because it's a reasonable flex.
I like this team.
Yeah.
I got a couple of players on the bench who could pop off if injuries go my way or something like that. Defense, I was late to the game with.
No, that defense is fantastic.
I like this defense.
Yeah, but I had to pick some of them, two of them off waivers, I believe. Abram and Williams, I got off waivers.
That's the way it should be. Or is that Ingram? Who? Which Ingram? I can't quite see.
What Ingram?
I don't see Ingram.
There's no Ingram.
I thought you said Ingram. You know who you need. You know who's a waste of time? Shaq Thompson. I reckon if I looked at your waivers right now, I could find a better guy. Jesse picked him up this week. Someone Luvu, he's the guy there actually. Shaq Thompson is dust. But anyway, is that
with defense? Basically, like I'm going for snaps and tackles because they're the most consistent thing, and I don't have enough NFL depth to go into like to the nitty gritties of every IDB player available. So I just look at snap counts and tackles.
Defense is much more just snap based. Like it's purely opportunity based. You got the big play guys. But it's much more. If these guys are getting the snaps, then that's purely it in my opinion for defense guys.
Well, I'll check what Thompson's doing in the snap counts. I haven't had a look recently.
Yeah, he's dropped down. He used to be 100% guy, but he's just not. Anyway, all good. Yeah, it's a great team. I think. I'd be very surprised if you were
I'm
not
0-2. I'm 160 both weeks, but both weeks I didn't have it. Last week, Kamara got like 7 points and CD Lamb got like 11 or whatever. So, I'm quite happy with that. I'm annoyed because I feel like I should have played waivers a bit more aggressively because if had I picked up who's that fellow who got injured last week? If Palmer, not Palmer. The running back, let me take a look. Sorry.
Give me a team.
They're a red team.
The Cardinals.
Who got injured last week? It was wasn't it Jeff Wilson? Isn't he?
Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah. So I feel like if I picked him up, that would have been a really good option on the bench and stuff like that. There's a couple of receivers I'm not happy that I let go for cheap. But London is my key draft pick. To be honest, he's getting me points at flex. That is like
I want London. London's great.
Happy with that. Happy as with that.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great team.
Jesse, did you
Thank you. I think that's. You have no idea how much that means to me, Jesse. I love it. Thanks. I mean, just to getting crapped on.
My rebuttal is simply the same as Andreas's. The data is the decision making. There's no one else is. We're not like any NFL gurus. We're not NFL general managers. We're not beat writers. We're nothing. We're.
Speak for yourself. Trey might argue.
If you have the data, we all have access to the same data.
Yeah.
That's it. There's nothing else. There's like, what was it that Eli just posted in here? Got to pass the eye test. What eye test? We're not NFL scouts, you know. What we think is good. We don't know. We don't know anything. There's no eye test. There's nothing contextual. But because you brought up the Patriots example, that's an easy go-to.
Okay. Speaking of which, do we know why Parker's just not getting hit by it at all? Can you explain that? Because I can't. I don't know. I haven't seen the games, so.
Let's have a look at the data.
Sure. So I can show you. I've got it pulled up here. Devontae Parker, so far this year has. I said I just got it. Where's it gone? Where's my snaps? He's on 87% snaps. So he's got 109 snaps and 4 targets and 1 reception for 9 yards.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's the targets for me. But also, look at how many times this man's passing. This guy has had 21 completions per game versus.
Oh, true.
Yeah. That's so low.
Okay.
That is mega low.
So that could be a case of just matchups and Parker getting targeted aggressively on D or something like that.
You do have outliers where certain quarterbacks favor certain guys, and Parker's come into Patriots scheme, and Mac Jones loves Jacoby Myers, and so Jacoby Myers gets a bunch of targets, and like similar to Cooper Kupp, it all blows our mind why Cooper Kupp gets so many. Matthew Stafford just targets him. But
because I got Stafford, so I've been trying to watch those games, and you'll see Stafford trying to force passes to Cooper when he's got another player open, just because his eyes are always going to Cooper, right? So
I think there are some outliers, but I would be surprised if Parker didn't, again, go back to the mean if he's getting that many snaps. But again, like Jesse's right, the targets, if his targets keep staying low, then it doesn't matter how many snaps he's getting.
Let's do some quick maths. Mac Jones started the whole year last year. Calculator here. 52 divided by 17. So this man literally averaged 20 completions per game. So what Parker really has to compete for, if he's going to get a 25% target share of this, he's getting 5 receptions per game. Yeah. And in a team that is running the ball nearly 500 times versus 300, it's a 50-50 split almost between rushing and receiving. There's not a big receiving pie there, which brings me back to my point. All this data is already available it doesn't actually matter if it's Devontae Parker or if it's whatever receiver going into that role, unless you're Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase going onto this team. It doesn't really matter who it is. He's just an outside receiver who.
What I'll do is, because I know this is going to come back to bite me in the ass, so because I don't have any good examples apart from the really obvious bad example of Devontae Adams joining and taking away snaps from Waller.
You should really stop bringing it up because it's making you look silly.
So when another example of this occurs this season, I'll bring it up at that point in time, because I've not gone into the annals of my league history to find out when I've got ridiculed, when I've picked up someone or done something or made a trade and there was something like I don't have memory like that. If it's not in a spreadsheet, I've forgotten it.
What's this Devontae Parker?
I'll bring it up then.
What's the Devontae Parker?
No, I mean Devontae Adams. Like I'm saying, so on paper, knowing that Waller's going to get, it is Waller the tight end, right?
Yes.
He's going to get less targets this year because Adams joined the team. That's an example of something that impacts the data that isn't represented in the data. It's just a really bad example because everybody knows about that move because it's Devontae Adams, right? That's why I'm saying when a better example shows up, I'll bring it up in the chat.
That's fine, but what I'm saying is that even if you knew nothing about NFL, but you knew stats, you'd easily be able to figure out that this guy...
You could do better than I'm doing with the stats alone, is the argument.
You could do a lot better
Sure.
with zero knowledge about the NFL.
I won't get into my Python algorithms.
But please, if you can find any other examples, I'd be happy to dismantle them again.
I know I'm very confident on this point. That's why I push back. Knowing my crap record, to push back against, like, normally I just talk crap and have a joke because I know I've got no footing to stand on. So like pushing back against Jesse of all people was something that's because I'm very confident in the point.
I'm fine with you pushing back if you've got something.
No, yeah, cool. I'm just saying the only, like, normally I wouldn't, but I'm very confident on this point. So I'll just wait for another example to show up and then I'll bring it up.
Yeah, let's go. Sounds good.
Cool. So should we do, since we're in championship, should we just chuck into that?
This is the championship recap.
Yeah.
So I'm loving Sam Tang's team.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely look. Excuse me. Shut. He's got a lot of power there.
Actually, I'm not loving it that much, to be honest.
No, he played DeAndre Carter. Like, what the hell?
Well, he has Keenan Allen. Like, it's better than nothing. He needed someone off waivers.
And he's got Wentz as his QB. Sure, Wentz has been great the last 2 weeks, but I'm not sold on Wentz term. Like for the
Wentz is trash. Sure. Wentz is a great example of trash NFL quarterback. Great fantasy quarterback. Well, like when Blake Bortles was pumping Allen Robinson a few years ago. Blake Bortles was trash, but he put up reasonable numbers.
Oh, he's starting 2 tight ends. He's got a tight end in his flex. I'm not confident.
Worth.
Who's on his bench?
Yeah, both of those are top 5 guys. Sure.
Oh, he started Wentz because he had Prescott, which is fair.
And Keenan Allen was out for the week.
Oh, that bench is not great.
No, it's not great, but he's winning, so.
Yeah. 2 weeks off 200.
This is just a disaster. The fact that whoever Jace is, what a disgrace. Lost to Shannon. Who did Shannon have?
Not only that, man. Shannon beat 3 other people too.
Jeff Wilson, Logan, like, this is abysmal. Noah Brown, what a clutch waiver. That
amazing.
Is incredible. I mean, even this 1 point, this is crucial that he gets this 1 point from Bradley Chubb. And he had Mostert on the bench. Honestly, Shannon might not be that bad. He can scrape through. Yeah, congrats, Shannon. I'm stoked for Shannon that he got 1 win in week 2. C Mammal. What's happened with C Mammal? Mahomes. Okay, so he just had. Oh my god, he's got Waddle and.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe he's got both of them.
Oh, jeez. That is juicy. Imagine getting 65 points from Lamar in the first round of games. You're like, sweet, I got this. Oh no, because it was in the same game. Jokes, forget. I haven't seen anything. I mean, his team is pretty dog. How many points is that? It's like over 100. It's like 110 points between 3 players. I mean, he won't win, but he will get some. He will get some good wins like this throughout the season.
I wouldn't be surprised if that Waddle Tyreek stack just carried him to the playoffs.
Yeah, it is quite sneaky.
You got a lot of
Mahomes as his QB.
Right, Balzac, Ertz.
Yeah.
I mean, Tua. That's it. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Or
that's
did you start Tua this week?
You take away Tua, and there's not much left there. So.
Yeah. I mean, Max, he just keeps coming under delivering as usual. Talks one of the biggest games, and that is shocking. But let's look at his team first. I mean, yeah, that says it. That what a garbage team! That is garbage. Like, what is this? Please let me see something.
Can you show me his defense real quick?
Oh, he's got Hopkins and Dobbins on the bench. That's why. He's going for the comeback.
Oh, and he lost TJ Watt, classic. Okay, Malik Reed is a terrible linebacker. He doesn't need to have him.
Yeah.
What the hell? He's got too many freaking... Man, he's a homer. The fact that he's got Miles Jack, TJ Watt, George Pickens.
Ridiculous.
That defense is fine. Quinton Williams, yeah.
That's worse than Andy. Level obsession. And a dingo ate my Brady, Blake Henson, pulling up. That's a sweetie dub, though, eh? Scoring 140 for the win. That's pretty sweet. Nick Barrett with the big 190. What did he get?
Jalen Hurts. Nick Barrett. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Oh, man. The Eagles look so good. They look unstoppable on offense. Micah Parsons. Oh, that guy's just a revelation for the NFL. Unreal. So fun to watch. Micah Parsons.
Nice. Literally. Nick knows his stuff. That's a good.
Yeah, I like Nick's team. Like Cordarrelle, the man just won't die. He's like Adrian Peterson in Cordarrelle's body. Taco Barons. I mean, Josh Allen, Mike Winnett, James Robinson. Goodness gracious, that man, he just won't be stopped. Oh, geez, look at that D line. That's a big performance on the D line. Nearly 40 points.
4 sacks in it.
Jeez, 215.
Yeah, nice.
John with the big win. And Alexander, this is Caleb Love's mate. Stacking it on Simon.
Yeah, I was even if I had a sub so this is the issue. I set my alarm for 12:30 in the day, not 12:30 at night. So I didn't wake up to check on Kamara's status.
Yeah, that's a huge L.
But even if I switched I didn't have the scoring potential on my bench to win this week anyway. But I'm just like, it's my ego that's hurt because I could have got scored more points, like even if I still got the loss, at least my average would be higher.
I don't know about you, Joe. I don't really like this team that much.
Those running backs are terrible. I'd hate to have those two guys right now.
Honestly, I thought I was going to take this week pretty comfortably when I looked at the matchup, so I was kind of happy. So I'm a little disappointed in this loss. I'm super disappointed in Kamara not playing.
13 solos. What the hell happened here?
Got a great, it's a great defense.
Jeez.
Yeah, busy day for the Vikings on defense.
Oh, well, interesting. So who's number one then?
It's the new boys, actually, I believe.
Let's go overall. Big Balls Pete C. Mammal. California Ball Zach Ertz. All on 2-0. Love to see it. All right, let's have a quick look at waivers then. We've spent enough time on the championship.
Waivers weren't too hot this week.
Adds Brashad Perryman. I'm not sure why anyone's adding Blake Martinez at this point. Equinemius St. Darius Slay for 12. That's horrific. What on?
Oh, you get to see the points? You go under transactions. Bro, I've been looking to see the points for so long.
Wait,
see, so this is classic. You don't even analyze the waiver.
I watch such little football, bro. I've been since like Madden 2015. I've known about Danielle Hunter, but I heard his name said for the first time this week and figured out it wasn't Danielle Hunter, which is what I've been calling him since the last 7 years.
Preston Smith for 15. Oh my god, that's horrific.
What are the points? That's not how much. That's not fab, is it?
That's fab. Yeah, that's fab. That's 15.
Oh, I can't believe. Oh man, no.
I thought Aguilar was a decent pickup this week if you want a flex that might get a few opportunities and a couple of deep looks.
Nah, Aguilar is just absolute boom or bust. That's a guy I would.
So
desperate flex play only.
If you can afford it, if you're in a strong position, you can afford a boom. Then
Darryl Williams for 10. That's a solid ad from Fraser.
Yeah. I got Eno. I wasn't sure how to value Darryl on the waiver. I wasn't really.
I'm hoping Eno's the guy.
Yeah, me too.
Well, let's be real. Eno is not going to be the guy if Connor's out. It's going to be a share of Williams and Eno.
Sure. Give me those third downs.
Is there ever a point? Can I ask for advice? Is there ever, because I was looking at getting Darryl Williams this week, but I didn't want to drop Eno. Is there ever a point to have both the guys?
No, you want one. You just want
one. Unless James Conner's injury might be two weeks max, maybe 3.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if it was longer, maybe. But
what is this? Did I talk about this last week?
I don't even remember that. That's from week 1, is it? I don't even remember that trade.
Oh my Oh, actually, no, that's not that bad. T. Higgins is fire.
Goodness gracious! All right.
Wait, which side do you obviously like the Dalvin Cook side?
I like the Dalvin Cook side, even though Lazard.
T. Higgins has got more target shares than Chase at the moment. I think he's actually got more points than Chase, to be honest. Even though Chase is still.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, he doesn't.
Shut up, Drew. All right, we'll wrap the championship there, and we'll get into the premiership. Stop recording.